Hi, I'm Linda Fabry, and this is the Intuitive Painting the Week for May 28th to June 3rd. This week I'm going to be talking about the heart, both literal and figurative. We're going to look at some trends in transformation and growth and awakening, and talk a little bit about this intense full moon energy that we're starting the week out with. So I'm going to walk through this painting right here that I just created yesterday or the day before. And we're going to look at all the symbolism, the painting process, what insights came up through that, and we'll get to a real clear message about what to expect and what can help us along in this week to come. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'd love to hear your comments. Leave those below. Also, this painting is going to go home to one of the patrons in my new Patreon community. I'll leave the links for you there too. And then it's going to become a new card in the Oracle deck that I'm creating. So stay tuned for information about that. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
All right, let's take a look. So if you watched the time-lapse video, you'll notice that when I put the paint down and lifted the paper up, this section right here, almost exactly in this shape, these lines right here and down to here, completely lifted off everything, and a lot of the paint was gathered on the edges here. So just like last week's, and I'll do another, it's the end of the month, so I will do a review of all the paintings in a bonus post. But just to mention last week's, when the paper came up, it pulled some of the paper, this watercolor paper, up with it. And that happened again in this area, particularly right here. And when that happens, I interpret that as removing layers, removing obstacles if it's paint, but this is actually layers of paper. So it's like layers of the self are being removed and revealing what's inside. And what's really interesting is what revealed was this heart. So it's like a, well, it's a painting, so it's a figurative heart, but also it's very like anatomical heart. It's anatomical, that just sounded weird, but so it's like an anatomically correct heart, in a, you know, as close as I could make it. And so it is about not just the heart center, the energy around love and emotions and those kind of things, but our literal heart within us, which is this powerful creative force inside us. So it's asking us to pay attention to that. And then I kept hearing, and I actually, if I were going to give this a title, I would call it Heart of Gold. Heart of Gold and Moonlit Crystal. So it's about the heart, and that heart of gold, that compassionate, loving, kind heart that we have within us, is being crystallized. It's encased in this crystal, and it feels like it's being activated by the moon energy. And we just happen to be going into a full moon. I think it was tonight or last night. Let me look at my calendar. I don't know. I got it on the wrong month. But anyway, yeah, so the full moon is active now. And that's what's happening this week, is it's activating that, kind of cleansing some of those things, making the heart really shine and work. And I was just, I couldn't stop with the glittery metallic paint. It just wanted to shine, 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 shine. It's in the nest. So let me talk about the nest a little bit. So some of us may be feeling like we're nesting, like have been creating this place where our inner being can really be nurtured and grow. And I think it's like a symbol also like that gestation. So whatever has been gestating within us, within our heart, is being activated now. And just to look at some of the elements of the painting, I like to do kind of a cross in the middle, divide it into quadrants. So the lower half is what's coming into awareness, and that's, again, like there's a few little things. There's a little crown down in here. right there. It's a little crown. And there's lots of little sparkly things. There's lots of kind of growth patterns. Fractal patterns is what I keep hearing, like changing the fractal pattern, really embracing our, I want to say nobility, but what I mean is kind of our birthright as creators to be our own authority and kind of step into our power. So that's kind of coming up into that middle awareness, and it's gold like the heart, so we're recognizing that the heart is gold. And then above that line, what we're already aware of, we're totally aware of this, many of us are aware of this full moon coming in, the energy, and how that affects us personally. I think the collective heart is also being activated. I feel like we'll start to see more compassionate response from the people around us and on a larger scale in our systems. I think that we're undergoing a great deal of change, and I believe that we're kind of shifting into an energy and we have been. This isn't new just this week, but I think we might start to see more evidence of compassionate responses on a larger scale, which is awesome. And then the left and right, now this is super centered, so what it's telling me is it's integrating both the left and right hemispheres of the brain at the heart. It's also a nice mix of practical linear energies as well as intuitive, creative, so the action as well as the receptivity, so like it's very, very balanced in that sense. So you may feel that you'll kind of come into balance with that, which is good news. I'm excited about that. And then the outside of the nest, so it's almost like these energies around here, they're real swirly, a lot of water, a lot of emotion, and it looked a little chaotic, and even the branches, it's like a little chaotic. So kind of out of our chaos, all these bits and pieces, they start to kind of come together, and it comes together in the heart. So overall this week, understand that you have a heart of gold that's being activated by this full moon energy, that you're compassionate, and many of you are empaths and sensitive, and so this also, so one of the things, let me back up for a second. One of the things that I noticed was this when I got all finished with it. Now it looked very much like a heart through the process. If you look at the time lapse, you'll see that it started out and it was like very much like very clear it was a heart, but then after the crystal was added around it, it starts to look like an apple to me, and then that makes me think of like Snow White, and I was going to say Sleeping Beauty because I'm thinking like being asleep, those kinds of things. So there is something about like the heart being asleep or like encased in crystal, that it's being kind of woken up and awoken too. So if you are a sensitive, a highly sensitive person, empath, you may have constructed a crystal around your heart center also, and kind of to protect you, or you can do that. And just be aware, like, to let it breathe, or let your heart still feel, but you can kind of construct like a grid around the heart to kind of cleanse some of the energies and let it and filter. That's what the word I was looking for, kind of filter, create like a crystalline structure around the heart. I'm seeing like a Merkaba, like you can create a Merkaba around the heart. I think it already does create its own, but in your imagination, your mind's eye, through meditation, imagine the Merkaba around your heart to kind of protect you from those energies. And I don't know that I want to use the word protect, more I want to say like filter or transmute those energies. So yeah, so overall, awakening of that heart of gold through this wonderful moon energy, moving into this next week of May 28th to June 6th. I think I said the 3rd in the intro, but you know, it's the 6th. I'm sure you can figure it out. All right. I'll put some still images in the group and then also watch for the monthly recap. Have a wonderful week.